There is a blacksmith shop as well in town, but these would be the only two places people can come and go and buy things from. If you're all gonna go to the store, I'm assuming you are.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to do anything other than that? Nope.
I just need some meat.
I just need some meat. All right. So, as the rest of you wander down the street, you guys are met with a swinging sign in the center of town. Tazara sits patiently outside as Arzaroth has wandered in already. The building you come to find yourselves wandering into is Caesar's Store and Items. There is a symbol of a sword that hangs on the sign. Underneath it is a small sign that hangs that literally just flat out bluntly states Adventurer's Gear. Old and new. Upon entering, you find Arzaroth talking to a young male who sits awkwardly as Arzaroth is 3 feet taller than him on the opposite side of a dingy old wooden desk. In here are untouched knickknacks, anything from old to new adventuring gear that has at least an inch of dust on it, since nobody shops in the store. There are candles lit, and the windows have been covered by curtains that have completely blocked out the outer light. You guys can hear the whistling of the wind coming through the cracks of this building when you enter, and the smell is of old mildew. Though you all wander in, and Arzaroth, go ahead, say what you're going to be saying to him.
Excuse me, sir. I require some meats for my panther friend.
You all hear, I require some meat for my panther friend as you wander in the building, and Caesar looks up and he says, what kind of meat are you looking for?
Any meat shall do. As long as it's not human.
I see, okay. Caesar, he stands up and he wanders behind a curtained doorway. You all see him now a lot better when he stood up, since Arzaroth was kind of blocking his view. He's a small, young teenager, must be in his early 20s, a human with blonde hair, terrible acne, and wears some very heavy an overgown. He just wears a gown, and it's two sizes too big for him. Upon walking in the back room, he begins to dig through a bunch of stuff. You can hear him as you hear kind of like a clatter and a clash in the back room as he yells, "Son of a..." He comes out, wandering out with a platter, holding his head, and he's like,
nasty meat.
"Oh, I've got a rodent. I think it's a rat. And,
Sick.
I think there's some old, moldy,
I require fresh meat, sir. Not old fucking shit you found in your attic.
I would suggest that you go to the hunter's hut then if you would like to find some meat. I definitely do not have any for you.
That's where I shall get meat, and I will go there.
Yes, it's right down the road. It's a couple buildings down. Can I help all of you? He looks past Arzaroth as you all kind of ding the bell as you wander in.
I think that's a good answer.
The room
I'm gonna
sits
presume
stagnant,
that I'm
still
not
and
the person
silent.
talking.
Everybody just sits silently staring at one another. He just stares at you back.
This guy offered me a rat for meat. Like, what else do they have to offer?
Did you ask him what else he has to offer?
Oh, no, I'm just talking in general. If he offers me a rat and some moldy ass fucking meat, what else the fuck does this guy have?
He, in this room, as you can see, sticking out of barrels, out of chests, on shelves, anything from arrows, old arrows, new arrows, flasks, chalk, clothes, tinder boxes, water skins, paper, old swords, a couple of toy swords, and there are paintings hung up on the walls and some flags from distant places.
How much is a water skin?
You ask him that?
Yeah.
It's 2 copper, sir.
Kind of like inspect it, make sure it's like not fucking
Yes. As
trash.
as you wander up to the table of water skins, there's everything from torn ones to taped up ones to kind of newish ones. But they are mostly all used. Cleaned out, of course, from what you can tell. But there are a couple on the table that sit firm and usable.
I'll take a newish one. How much does it cost?
2 copper, he said.
2 copper? No, I'll take a water skin, sir.
He bows his head. He says, right, let me take the water skin from you. He takes it. He looks it over. He says, no holes. Okay. He puts it back. He says, 2 copper, please. And you hand him. And he puts it away in his cash register. His little pouch of coin. That sits firmly on the table before you.
I'm going to just generically glance around. You don't have to describe it all again, but just kind of think, as I'm presuming I'm not the speaker of this party, being quite unsettling as I am.
Yeah. There will be repercussions if you talk for the normal people if you were in this world. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes. So, anyone else need anything? Because I do have to ask that you may leave instead of staring at me awkwardly without saying anything. It's making me highly uncomfortable.
I'm gonna head to the hunter's hut and get me some actual fucking meat.
Arzaroth leaves and the bell dings as he wanders out.
I'm following Arzaroth.
Ravi wanders behind him.
I'll look at Belzaren.
Need anything?
Well, we need a map.
Oh shit.
Of the terrace woods. Wilderness.
Would you happen to have anything like that?
I'm sorry, I wasn't quite listening. Did you say a map?
Yes.
I have maps of all kinds. I have maps of Scaris. I have maps of Terrace. I have maps.
Okay. We would like a map of the terrace wilderness.
Quite
Shit.
new one. Widely sold. Excuse me. He gets back up. He wanders back. As he's wandering away, you guys now see where he was holding his head originally has a bunch of liquid just dripping down. Not blood, but it's kind of like a wax that kind of just hit his head and like stuck to the back of his hair. As he wanders out back, and he takes a few moments, clattering a few more things, of course. As he comes back out a few seconds later, he holds a rolled up larger map for you, and he places it on the table, and it unspindles. And what you are gonna see is this, when I can take a picture of it. Everything you see on this map that has a title is what is known on this map. Anything that is just a symbol is unknown, and anything that is unknown, obviously, is not on the map. So, let me just quickly... there we go. Then I will quickly... This is probably messing with the stream, but it's only going to take me a moment. Okay. So, this is what you're gonna see. I will first send it to you in the chat, and then I will send it over to stream. So you are given a much better map now, as
Oh,
you
thank God.
may be able to tell. These are all the locations that you are able to see from the map locations.
Sourdough farmers.
Of course, Arzaroth and Ravi, you can look at this, but you don't know anything on it because you're not here to see it.
Okay. All right. I see.
Yes. Now, to remind you, the farthest you guys have been is basically just before the town of Sigorn. Most of you guys haven't made it past there. You guys have stayed, in Dowerdald most of the time. So this is all new to you. A lot of that land out there is untouched by you, has been unseen by you. So there is a lot to see, just in this small region alone.
Where are you seeing Sigorn?
Town of Sigorn is just above.
Oh, there it is.
Yep, northwest of
Yep.
Dowerdald. So he says, "Will this suffice?"
Feel it.
The price. I sell this for 2 silver.
2 silver.
It is a
Damn.
very well-made map, sir.
2 fucking silver.
Well,
Bet you can't afford that.
can't.
Steal that shit.
Well, thank
At
you for
this-
letting us look at it.
Of course.
I'm sure we can come to an agreement.
What the fuck?
Do
And
you
what
think
way-
you might be able to go a little lower than that?
There's another way I can buy that map.
So at the start, the tiefling said that to him in a very weird way. So he sits here and he's like,
Sell his ass.
"In what way do you mean?" And then Belzaren, you speak up. And he says, "Huh. Now, I would like Izod to make an unintentional intimidation check.
Oh, it's not an intentional at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
That doesn't sound like intimidation. that
As
sounds
for
like-
Belzaren, I would like you to make a persuasion check because you're being much kinder about and not as weird about this.
that sounds like
Ooh.
seduction more than fucking intimidation.
That's a 24.
No. Remember that I look like hell, literally.
Maybe he's into that. I don't
That's
know.
true,
Who
that's
the
true.
fuck knows?
Seduction is I wish it was a stat, honestly.
It should
Maybe
be.
the guys
I
are
should
into this shit.
I got a 17.
Okay. So at the exact same time, you scare the crap out of him. He's like, haha, yes, an arrangement. And then Belzaren speaks up, and he's like, please, and he kind of calms the room down as Caesar's very nervous. And he says, sure, what kind of arrangement would you like to put before me? He's very uncomfortable in his chair now.
Just a cheaper price on the map. Maybe, say, 10 copper?
1 silver.
Simply as it is to go
Beat 'em all.
forward and help the town.
I see. So you're dealing with
The mayor sent us on a mission.
okay. Why don't I do this? You can borrow the map, and when you come back, we can talk about exchange then. This way, the mayor doesn't get me in trouble. Please,
That's acceptable.
please. For the
We
cause,
appreciate
of course.
your kindness will be remembered.
Your smile just like pierces into his soul, and He immediately says, "All right, I'm gonna take my break now. Please see the door when you see fit, and I'll be back later today." And he gets up and he walks out of the back curtain.
I'll walk out with Belzaren.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave.
All right. So you two wander out, dinging that bell for the last time for I don't know how long it's going to be till you come back, or if you ever come back. But upon leaving, you guys can see Tazaro, the big black panther, walking down the road towards the hunter's hut. Now, you both, of course, know where the hunter's hut is, so you have a few minutes till you get over there. Ravi and Arzaroth, you find yourselves at this circular building. It is a one-story wooden building with a hay roof. Inside are a few men and women dressed up in some very covering clothing, cloaks, masks. They've got bows strapped to them, and they keep coming and going from the building. When you enter, you guys look very out of place because you're coming in here to purchase something, not join on a hunt. So a man in the corner who's sitting at a desk kind of writing past a big table with a map on it kind of yells out to you, "Can I help you?"
Do you guys happen to sell any meat, or do I have to join you on a hunt?
The hunts are canceled for the day. The guards need us to stay here and protect the town, and there is a blizzard over the mountain ranges on its way. Meat, we don't have much left. Most of it is for the town.
Of course.
It may cost you some money, of course, if you'd like to purchase some.
Of course.
What are you looking for?
Can be anything. Deer, pig, cow, I don't know.
The deers are going to be used for the village, so how about a few small animals, a few rabbits and a pheasant?
That works.
All right, that'll cost you 8 copper, sir.
Alright.
All right. He bows his head. You wander up to him. He puts out his hands, takes the copper, and throws it into his satchel. He stands up and goes to kind of a back room area, and he comes out with this big stick and ropes hanging below it of all these rodents, these small creatures, the pheasant and 3 rabbits, and he hands it to you. He says, "Is that all you'll be needing today, sir?"
That's all from me, thank you.
Dwarf, would you like anything?
No thanks.
Okay. Have a good day. I have some matters to attend to. Can I help you? As Belzaren and Izod come wandering into the hunter's hut.
I'll at least shake my head no.
Okay. All right.
No, I don't believe so.
Silence is always the answer.
If that is the case, I will ask that you all please leave, unless you're here to protect the town. I think that's everything. Yes. Very nice meeting you. And he wanders out of the hunter's hut. You are now all in the hunter's hut alone, around each other. With daybreak piercing more and more, it is now 9 a.m. And as you were told by the mayor told you to head out today as fast as possible to deal with this matter. Whether it be at night or midday, that's up to you, though this hunter did just reveal to you that there is a blizzard coming. So this is something you should probably keep in mind.
Did he say when?
He just said they don't want any of their hunters going out because there is a blizzard incoming.
He is not a meteorologist.
He cannot tell you when. Sometimes they can, but this one's kind of a... It's like when you look off in a distance and you can see a really black cloud and you're like, I see that rain's coming, and then it can be anywhere from an hour to 5 hours away from you, you know.
I'm going to be a terrible person and ask this really, really absurd question. And so I totally understand if you're like, I'm not answering that.
Okay.
From which direction is the storm? Would I expect the storm to come from more often than not?
Can you ask that question one more time?
If knowing that there is a storm,
Right.
from which direction would we normally expect a storm to come from? I'm presuming it's not going to come from the west, like a nor'easter kind of thing, from the mountains. I'm presuming it's going to come from either the far south or from the far east, whether
So
that be north or
yes.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
far south or west.
Yeah. No, it is actually. It's not coming from the actual wilderness. It's coming from the opposite side of Lake Ild over the Palatros Mountains.
Okay.
It's coming in from the north there. If you guys would
Okay.
like to roll survival checks, you guys have been here during snowstorms before, so if you want to try to determine how long it will take for the Palatros Mountains to Dowerdald for storms.
Bam.
Yeah, I'll give that a shot.
Shit. Well,
I don't know anything.
got an eight.
Survival.
You got an 8?
It's survival, right?
Yep, survival.
I got a 12.
19.
19. What'd you get, Belzaren?
12.
12. Izod?
I got like a 6.
6. So as for Ravi, you're the only one that will know this or remember this, determining it kind of on the dot there. It will take only 2 to 3 hours for this storm to reach Dowerdald.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to let your group know, they won't know until you tell them.
Oh, you kidding me? I have to relay that. Yeah, okay. It should take about 3 hours for the storm to roll in.
Well, in that case, I don't believe we should be caught out in the wilderness in a blizzard.
I think I'm gonna step out and feed the Zara.
Okay.
On the other hand, just to play devil's advocate. Thank you. I think perhaps staying might slow us down even further. It's a risk either way.
Indeed.
So, you guys at that very moment hear the wind howl through this hut in a strange kind of ominous just fashion out of the blue as you say something. Cesaro outside Arzaroth as you wander out, he is sitting down in the snow, waiting for you, and he sees that you have the meat in your hands.
Now, do I have to feed him a certain amount, or can I just feed him like I don't know, like a fucking rabbit and
That's-
be good?
That is up to you.
Great, I gotta actually monitor his nutritional values and shit.
Currently, in your hand, you hold 4 rations. If you were to put that in terms.
I'll slap a rabbit down in front of him, tell him to dig in.
He eats it instantly in 1 bite.
That's not good.
I let him have a pet. I didn't say it was all gonna be good.
Yep. I'm just imagining it starving and deciding that we're dinner.
I mean, a panther could probably hunt itself, you know.
That's true.
Yep, but when prey is nearby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, lucky for you, it
Just-
won't be Arzaroth or Ravi.
Well, it won't be me, so that's all that matters.
He chows it down, and from what you remember, he eats a lot, but he eats a lot over the course of a day. So he won't eat 5 rations in 1 meal, but he'll eat 5 rations over the course of a day. So you want to keep that in mind. That's what I would keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
As for the rest of you, I didn't explain this to Izod or to Belzaren, but on that map when you guys were looking at it, to the Daclin Camp, it is going to take you 4 days following the road, 3 days going over the hills, and 2 days cutting over the farmhouse land to get there. It is no matter what going to take you a couple days to get to the camp.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
Couple days. I guess we might as well start now.
If we know that information in advance, like as we look at the map, that it would take that long, I would recommend just taking the fastest possible route, regardless of danger or anything. Just, we need to do this now.
Is there like a public carriage we can take, or like a rental? Or something?
so good question. So the day before yesterday, Miscus told you guys that he doesn't believe there'll be horses given to you guys, since the guards will be using them to kind of look for the bandits themselves. But if you want to ask around, you may. There are people just kind of wandering around. There are guards walking around that you can talk to if you'd like to talk to the guards.
Should ask the mayor, not the guards. Mayor's gonna send us out in a snowstorm and not give us anything to fucking take with us. Like, what the hell?
To be fair, the mayor didn't know a snowstorm was coming either.
I say we talk to the mayor again.
We'll say he said that in game, and you guys are kind of all standing around him as well.
Yeah,
Yes, I would have to agree. Let's go pay the mayor a visit.
please.
So you all take your leave from the hunter's hut, wander for a couple minutes across town, and flurries begin to start. People begin to batten down the hatches. They're building up the buildings as quick as they possibly can, but people are going to have to live in other people's homes for a couple days here. And this is nothing new, but upon entering the town hall, the mayor sits comfortably on his high seat that sits on the back wall in front of a large dining table. He sees you walk in. He says, come. Waves you in. Tazaro, the guard stopped Tazaro from coming inside.
We require transport if we are to get through this storm and to our destination.
Require.
Yes, require.
I see. So you are making demands now.
If you want us to help you, you're gonna have to help us.
Roll a persuasion check.
You get the guards on me. It's been fun. Oh, son of a bitch.
That never sounds good.
6.
6. Okay.
6.
So
Good sir, you have to understand, we have already performed a large task for you. We drove the bandits off. In order for us to get rid of them permanently, we're going to require a little bit of help.
you roll a persuasion check.
Alright. 26.
There you go.
So he first hears the rude elf wander in and demand a cart, and he is taken back for a moment, and then Belzaren chimes in and he looks over and I understand. I unfortunately don't have horses I can give you, but a cart, on the other hand, may be possible. Let's see. He looks to his side. He snaps twice, and a young, kind of like servant-esque guy wanders over, and he kind of whispers to him. He looks back at you guys. He says, how many are going to be joining you?
I believe
the
just
4 of
us.
us.
All right, so 4 of you. We can build you a cart, but it will take 2 days.
What good the cart without horses to pull it?
You will be given a horse, a single pony, to take you to where you need to go. But, as I do stress, 2 days is too long from now.
Well, we have no way of safely traversing this storm.
Men and women have traveled these lands during snowstorms before, sir. These storms, they come and go all the time. And if you think you can't walk through snow, how are you supposed to be fighting bandits?
Storm. I'll be an asshole about it. I'm getting nowhere with this.
I am afraid that I agree with Mayor Stillbriar. I believe we will be fine walking.
Now, if you need anything, warmer clothing I would recommend. You may want to get your weapons sharpened. I know you used them yesterday, but I also know this is a town filled with retired adventurers, and a lot of your weapons haven't been sharpened in a long time. If you have everything you need, I'd recommend leaving before the storm comes so you can make as much ground as possible before it hits.
Thank you. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome. Which one of you is Belzaren as well?
That would be me, sir.
Belzaren, I wanted to let you know that Oracle Years would like to speak to you before you leave. She had me leave you a note.
Where can he be found?
She.
Or she. Oh, yes, the one that I talked to earlier.
She is in her hut, as she usually is. It was unscathed by the unfortunate bandit attack yesterday.
Well, I will go talk to her immediately.
Good. As for the rest of you, if you need nothing else, I would ask that you hurry along.
I'll turn and leave.
Yep.
Okay. He gives Arzaroth kind of a side eye when Arzaroth wanders out. And when you guys all walk out, the guards they're kind of whispering to each other, and you can Arzaroth, you can hear very clearly one of them go, "Did you hear how he spoke to the mayor?" Very rudely, just already angrily, like kind of giving you a side glare as well, watching you leave.
It's fine. It's fine.
Tizaro follows you as well. Are you all going to join Belzaren to Years?
I am not.
Okay.
Although I am going to recommend to everybody that we meet up at the outside of the Wandering Walrus before we leave. But I do have one more thing I want to go do now that I thought of it.
Okay. We'll start with Belzaren then.
All right.
Belzaren, as you travel across the town, you can see Year's hut. She is actually outside, and she seems to be shouting to thin air at this moment.
I'm gonna walk over there. Are you all right? Are you all right, ma'am? Is there something I can help you with?
Now she looks to you, and she says, "Ah, you are the man that comes to my Belzaren, yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I know it looks like I'm being crazy. If you look, she kind of turns your direction to the opposite side of her hut, and you can see this large robotic creature picking up wood and placing it onto the buildings. It is a massive circular robotic creature with kind of pincer-like feet and claws like a crab, and it's lifting a beam up and laying it on top of her roof.
Okay, do I know what this thing is?
Would you like to roll a history check?
Yeah, I'll give that a shot.
All right. You also could ask her.
What is that thing?
That thing there is going to be the death of me. It is called a tequila. It is a large construct. I unfortunately breathe life into every single day.
I see.
And it doesn't know better.
What does it do?
Work. It just works. It does what you see it's doing.
I see. Well, what did you need to talk to me about? The mayor told me that you sent for me.
Yes, I wanted to talk to you about what you wanted to talk about yesterday. You're looking for other, you were looking into my books on planar travel, yes?
Yes.
I recommended those 4 wizards to you. I do remember doing this before we were attacked and I had my meeting. I wanted to give you something. She takes a note out of her gown and she hands it to you. She says, please do not look inside this. At some point while you're away or at some point in your travels, at any point you decide, do you mind dropping this off to them?
Yes. I will give it to them.
Thank you. You can just say it was Years who sent it.
All right.
And then all of a sudden you hear a boom as one of the big logs falls off of the tower, and she goes, "You stupid construct!" And she walks back and she starts flipping out in it, and it bows its head in a very sad fashion. I don't know how many of you guys are looking at stream, but if you look at stream, this is what it looks like. It very sadly bows its head and is just getting yelled at by her.
Oh boy.
Yes. No. It is one of the it's not the first construct you've seen, though it is the first you've seen in a long time. In the 3rd era, this is the era of bringing back engineering and alchemy and magic. Now, in the first era was built up by engineers and alchemists. In the 2nd era, the alchemists and engineers all died off. It basically became stagnant for the 2nd era, and it was magic that really grew that era. The 3rd era kind of brought it all together again. Magic, alchemy, engineering, it all came together again, and now it runs the world in a way that constructs aren't too weird to see, though they are startling at times. For instance, for people who know what a Warforged is, that would be weird to see. But something like this, there are constructs like this all the time, all over the place. So
Good to know.
yes. But she wanders off from you, and kind of just leaves you with this note. It says on the front of it, for the Brotherhood, and it's underlined twice.
What does for the Brotherhood mean?
She quickly looks back. She says that is what they call themselves, Brotherhood. They are the... I cannot remember, but it is 4 mages, 4 men, under one brotherhood. They call each other brother this, brother that. You know, it's some kind of weird place.
See.
I haven't been there in a long time. Is there anything else you need?
No, I believe that was all.
Okay. Jumping over to Izod, what would you like to do?
I don't know what the other 2 are doing. But I need to look for 2 things. I would like to look for a kind of fur coat, and I'd like to look for a whetstone. Like a whetstone I could carry for sharpening along the way. Sharpening my tools along the way, rather than paying someone to do it or
Right.
whatever.
So, for the stone, you'd probably have to look for it by the blacksmith shop.
Okay, easy enough.
For the clothing, you have to go back to Caesar's shop.
This is gonna go well. So, unless you think there is a thing that needs to be role played out, I will dole out copper for these things and just do it, so that we don't waste the time. But if you think there is something to role play out, then I will obviously do that.
So there is in Caesar's shop. The the blacksmith shop's easy. He gives you one for 3 copper.
Easy enough.
I'll take
but-
one too.
You want to get one as well? Okay, so you'll follow behind Izod. Izod will ask for one. You will ask for one. It is also 3 copper, so just take that off your character sheet. Are you sticking with Izod, Ravi, and Arzaroth?
For the moment,
Yeah.
the fur coat and stuff, yes.
Okay. You all wander back to Caesar's shop. The familiar bell dings as you wander in, and Caesar's looking into a pouch that's on his desk. He's like, he looks up and he's, welcome back to my shop. What can I get for you today?
How was your break?
It was nice. Thank you for asking. Is there something I can get for you?
Require fur coats for the long road ahead.
I see. Yes, there's clothing in the corner over there. When you guys look over to the corner, it is a bunch of dusty old cloaks and fur items, clearly untouched or uncleaned for a long time. Though they're not dirty, they're just dusty and they've just got some cobwebs on them. That is all.
I think I'll grab the nicest looking one and dust it off. And
I'll grab one for myself and one for Belzaren.
Okay, so the nicest looking one, Arzaroth, is kind of like a pimp jacket. It's this big towering like neck and just kind of cloak, but it's very heavy. It's very warm, and any armor that you have can fit perfectly over it. When it comes to the stuff,
Bryan, you should know better than to introduce something like that.
no, I don't know better, and I do these things to myself.
Okay.
As
Does it look
for it is a nice coat. When you clean it off, it is this silver lined like velvet coat with kind of cheetah print on it. On the inside is kind of a kind of stitching with an inner pocket. But what's very nice about this is inside the inner pocket there is a note.
can I just take the note without taking the jacket?
You could take the note without taking the jacket if you want.
I'll just take the note, I guess.
Okay. Do you look at it?
Of course.
You take the note out, and basically all it says is,
The magical cloak.
no. All it says is, return to Terran in Wildrospire.
Sweet.
If found, I have lost it again.
So what's it cost? Well, I wouldn't want to buy it just to have to fucking give it away.
Though, when you are looking it over, Caesar sees you and he says, that's only 4 copper coats, sir.
Let's see.
It is the heaviest.
I'm gonna look for something functionable. I don't want to get cold, but I don't want to pay an arm and a leg.
Everything else is priced at 2 copper. Basically, you find a couple normal coats that are heavy, with kind of like a sheep's pelt. Also hoods. They also hold hoods. There's a lot of pouches and pockets on this as well to hold some of your things. One of the sets actually comes with a new sheath, a blue sheath with a silver lining. Which kind of also is what the coat itself that comes with that looks like.
I think I'm just gonna take one of the wool ones.
You want one of the wool ones as well? Okay.
Just keep
So-
it chill.
Keep it a chill. Ravi, what are you gonna do?
I'll just take one.
Take one of the wool
warm
ones as
enough.
well.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all take a wool one. It costs you 2 copper each, and Caesar, he bows his head. He says, good choices. Let me look them over for you. Okay. And he looks it over, and he looks in the holes, and says, no holes, no dust, and he slaps it, and dust just puffs off of it right into the air, and he's... hands it back. He checks them all over like that. He just makes sure he's selling you good stuff. If you guys can kind of tell, he's checking this over to make sure that you won't have to come back, in case there is some type of ripped stitching or some type of thing he's gonna have to deal with eventually. And he just lay your 2 copper on the desk, and if that's all you'd like.
I have not been keeping track of my copper.
I know you have. I luckily have, and you are down 15.
I was gonna say I have.
Alright, good, because I'm not keeping track of that.
I am also buying one for Belzaren, so I'm dropping 4 copper.
Okay. Did you get rid of the Tyler? Did you get rid of the copper I told you to get rid of?
I mean, yeah, I'm buying it.
Well, no, I told you all the copper from the past couple times that you've purchased stuff.
Ah, you want me to write it down?
It's in D&D Beyond. You can change your copper amount from there.
Yeah, you can just remove that amount from your.
No, I never put it here.
Sorry, Paul. Did you say you were keeping track of how much copper he spent?
Of how much copper he spent?
No,
I'm
yeah,
keeping
just
track
yourself.
of how much copper I spent. Oh, you can't see.
No, it's gone. 15 copper is what you've spent today, Tyler.
How much do I have?
That's
You
a
had
good
30.
question.
You had the same amount as me.
I have 30, so I'm down to 15.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we're good.
I'll
Okay.
look to see what it is, what I have on here.
Does anyone else want to do anything while you're in here?
I think, Yeah, I'm set. I think I'm set.
So everybody else is good in this place?
Yeah.
I'm all set as well.
Okay. Upon leaving Caesar's shop, he gives you a wave, the bell dings, and you all kind of meet in the center of town, Belzaren kind of bumping into you. You
I'm
guys...
gonna wait back at him just to freak him out. Just kind
Yeah,
of that like.
yeah. You wander out, and he closes shop early. You hear the latch lock behind him, and the sign flip. You are now grouped up. Izod, I know you wanted to say something to them, so you're good. You said you wanted to meet up with them outside of the tavern.
I just thought before we leave, we should all make sure that we just meet up in one spot. That we have a place to meet up. That's all.
Oh yes, okay. Well, you meet up here. Perfectly fine. So,
I'll hand Belzaren his coat or a coat.
Thank you. I did not have the time to get to those shops.
Yes, I was considering.
How much did this cost? Let me pay you back.
Consider it. What is the word? Endowment? What is the word? To offer without expectation.
Free?
Consider it a free.
Well, thank you.
She does not know the word gift.
Oh, that's the word you were going for.
That's fine. That was good.
Sorry.
Yes.
The player is stupid here, not the character.
So, you guys all meet up, and I'm assuming you guys kind of just group up and just get ready to head off. All right. So, did anybody check rations? First time I'm going to say this, the last time I'm going to say this.
Well, I got the stuff on me, and I was gonna ask if I can fill up the the fuck's it called? Water skin I got from the shop.
There is a well that kind of sits unfrozen outside of the tavern. I'll say that you filled it up while you guys were traveling to blacksmith and store. You have 3 rations currently, Arzaroth. I don't know about anybody else though.
I ain't sharing shit.
I have rations.
The background I chose, I don't know if you would adjust the way that you play or the way that you're DMing, but the background I chose came with 10 days of rations.
Okay.
Unless that's not reasonable. Otherwise, I still have 10 days of rations.
No, that's fine. You're good.
Okay.
If it came with your class, it came with your class. I'm not going to tell you otherwise.
Mm.
Though, if you do not have any, I recommend you buy some. It's just one
I
of
have
the
a
things.
day of rations in my frickin'. Oh crap!
I also have 1 day.
I already have a water skin too. Are you shitting me?
Now you have 2. One for the panther.
And
Okay.
this would be a karma roll for people who don't check their inventory lists before playing a game. Definitely keep an eye on what you have, especially before you purchase a second one of it.
I'll give it to Bryan. Do you have one? Or Ravi?
I
Do you
already
have
have one. I already have one.
one? Water skin. Oh, yeah.
It's for your panther. It's for your damn panther.
You can do that if you want to use it to kind of just continuously fill up Tazaro's bowl. If you have a bowl for him. All right.
You know what that is though.
So, once again, you can either go to the hunter's hut or get the crappy rations from Caesar.
I'm all set. I'm ready to fuck.
I am all set.
Yeah, I have rations.
Good? Everybody's good?
Yep.
All right. This is where we'll take our first break, 15 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll